rotate my device. Is my thing able to rotate though? Let's see. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to do. How in the heck? Oh my god. This is aggravating. Okay, so trying to get some people up in here, trying to update. I know it's late where I'm at. I don't know how late it is at other places. I figured I'd give it a couple minutes to see if anybody was actually coming in or not. Doesn't look like nobody's going to be here. So this is the final Meghan Walsh court update. Give me a minute to light my cigarette. Okay. I was told by her lawyer I could spill all the beans of everything that was said, everything that was done, the whole 9 yards. The only thing is Meghan cannot do interviews or nothing because there is still a 30-day deciding factor. But I will say this much. As many of you know, Meghan has been fighting John and Reve since April 15th. I had to clarify that. It's been since April 15th of last year. That's the day that CPS came in and took our children from her. It's been a whirlwind for Meghan. Highs, lows, everything else. They have discredited Meghan for multiple credentials that she has throughout the case. Sorry, I'm trying to think of everything because it's so much all in one to do. They tried to start the conservatorship of Meghan from the beginning. It was denied. Thank God for that one. So then they got involved and they took the children from Meghan based on the fact of Meghan doing research and Meghan asking questions within the family. I will say this much. When John testified under oath today. It was said that John had told them, and this came from the lawyer, so this is information I can share, that he hadn't seen the children in 4 months, that Meghan had kept the children from her, or from him and Reve, for 4 months, which she has that right. As their mother, she has the right to keep the children from the grandparents if she so chooses. Florida does not have, grandparents' rights in the state. As Meghan said, it wasn't 4 months, it was 6 months she had kept the children from them. He also said that he doesn't think Meghan deserves to see the children at all. And it was brought up about the fact that of Adam Walsh and how they weren't even able to protect their own children. And they were told that it was irrelevant to the case, even though the judge, after John testified, said, "Mr. Walsh, since your testimony has been entered into evidence and you are now a part of this case, we would like for you to stay for the rest of the case." He tried to go out through the back, but the bailiff told him he needed to stay, so he walked all the way back around, went to the back of the courtroom, sat down for a few minutes, and then after a few minutes, when everybody was busy, he left, even though he needed to stay. Another thing that was brought up is the fact that they took the 3 children and they didn't take baby Esther. And it's like, why are you shunning one grandchild away, but you want to keep the other 3? And he said that he has to do everything through Reve. Like, he has to talk to Reve about everything, and that he would have to talk to her about them possibly taking baby Esther. I don't know if the other 3 children's names have been released yet or not, but I will tell you this much. He wants to adopt out her oldest, which is a girl, and he wants to keep the 2 boys of hers that he has. Now, keep in mind, I think they said they are 7, 5, and 4, or something like that. But they're still kind of young. So no, I know one was 5. Hold on, no, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so my bad. They're 5, 7, and 9. The children are now 5, 7, and 9 years old. I had to think, because I know that she said like there was like a 2-year age gap between each of them. And then something else that was said today was that when her lawyer first came on, and Meghan still had the other lawyer of this case that ended up quitting on her before this one came on full term. The lawyer that she had prior, Meghan had reached out, and she got help from, I'm gonna go ahead and say her name, Hollis. And Hollis had reached out to Jim something, I forgot whatever his name was, but it started with a J, John or Jim, one of the 2. And she had reached out to him, and he's like, "So Meghan tells me that you want to come on the case." He's like, "Are you gonna like represent Meghan or what?" And then she's like, "No." She said, "I'm coming on as like co-counsel." She said, "I want to help," but she wanted him to still be a part of the case because she was coming on fresh and new and stuff like that. And he's like, "Well, I'm not going to talk to you until you file a motion to be added to the case," or something like that. So she filed her motion of whatever it is called. I forgot exactly 100%. And it was like 2 days before the court date. And he came in and he struck her motion to be added as like a co-counsel, but they denied it. And then he also filed a motion to withdraw, like recuse himself or whatever from the case, because this lady came on as a co-counsel in the beginning. And then they asked about the subpoenas, and she asked for them to be like extended or continued, whatever it was called. And he's like, well, I'm going to ask you to, like, strike mine. And she's like, no. She's like, I want to keep these subpoenas on. And then the judge is like, okay, well, I'm not going to make Miss Hollis hobble like that. He's like, so I am going to extend these subpoenas. And it struck them as odd whenever they heard the word hobble. And since I'm allowed to tell everything, they wanted to see just how things were happening in the courtroom. So they did get the transcript from what was said. And what that judge said had been redacted from the transcript. So they're redacting what is being said in the courtroom. And this is coming from her lawyer, Miss Hollis, herself. So again, anyone in Florida who needs a good family lawyer, let me know, because I'm telling you, Hollis is a spitball fire, hard up person. I mean, she is well worth the investment if anybody ever needs a lawyer in Florida. She travels all over Florida, but she will fight. I'm telling you, this woman will not go down without a fight. Everything had been like basically objected today, and from the state side, and every time they objected on the state side, the judge allowed the objection. The two witnesses today that I told y'all that were very valuable to the case were the two ladies who had been doing the visits with these children for the past year and some change. And these are, you know, what did they call them? Transporters. They said, you're just transporters, so what do you know? Okay, yes, they might be transporters, but these are people who work for CPS, who literally listen to all the conversations every time that Meghan has a visit with her 4 children. These are the people that hear what these children want. These are the people that say, you know, they don't see Meghan with her children. And this came out of their own mouth when they were talking to us today. These are the people who see Meghan with her children. These are the people that said that they see how much love these kids shower on Meghan and how sad they are when they have to leave their mother, you know, the whole 9 yards. These are people who are there every single time to witness when John's not there, nobody's there. It's Meghan and the children and them. They see what truly happens, you know, with these kids. They said that they feel like they're not even protecting the children anymore, you know, because these children want to be home with their mother. They want to be with her constantly, and it's breaking their heart, and it's making these children hurt and upset and, you know, everything else, because they've even, you know, told other things. And I mean, I don't know. It was told to me. She said I can say everything. They were they told about being beaten by Reve, their own grandmother. Like, and it wasn't that they were beaten. Like, it was said that Reve kicked the child in the neck. I mean, but these are people who are supposed to be loving to these children and care about these children. Let's see. It was admitted that John had contacted the fathers of the children and, like, basically harassed these people to, like, just stay out of the whole ordeal so that way he could get the boys. And this isn't the father of the daughter. This is the father of the 2 boys, you know, different fathers. To be honest, Meghan is not in a good place. No home, no income, no father, nothing to provide for kids. Would it be good if I did for? Okay, so Navin, the whole thing isn't to, like, do all of this, like, that, as her lawyer said, they're not asking for the children to be returned today. What they're asking is to allow Meghan more time to repurpose her life, okay? Because as her lawyer said, did Meghan finish the case plan as of yet? No, she didn't. They said, but you got to understand, this is a girl who went from being in a wealthy family to where her family not only ripped her children from her, they took her housing from her. And there is basically, it's kind of like an escrow that her money is in, because they said that the money could be eat up in like legal fees and everything else and stuff. So they're not releasing her money to her. She has $175,000 that is literally being refused to be given to her. If they would give her the money, she could go buy a home for her and her children. You know, if they would give her money, she would be able to get things or situated. And again, as you said, she has no income. Yes, she might not have no income at the moment, but she was working up until she had the baby. So she did have income. And she is just now literally able to be returned to work from having the baby. Technically, she's not supposed to be at work at the moment because it's still not enough time, but she can return to work. But a lot of people are not paying attention to the fact that they are holding the money that she is legally owed, which is $175,000 that could help her. And as her lawyer said, you know, this is the person who never filled out paperwork her whole entire life. She always had assistants to do it for her. I mean, for Christ's sake, as her lawyer said, she never even filled out her paperwork for her insurance. Other people did it for her. Literally, they had assistants to fill out her insurance paperwork for her. She didn't even know how to fill out her own insurance paperwork because, as she'll tell you, they did everything. They, you know, did their laundry. They had a nanny, the whole nine yards. They never got to like be real children because their father and their mother had people doing everything for them. She said it wasn't that she didn't want to learn. She's like, I want to learn these things because one day I'm going to, you know, need to do them myself. And for being born into privilege and opportunity, the way I see it, she screwed all that up. Okay, first and foremost, do you think that she asked to be born into this family? Do you think that, you know, she asked for her brother to apparently be murdered for them to become privileged and wealthy and, you know, have all this fame and stuff? And it's not her, it's her father and her mother. She wanted to have a normal life. And bad character associations was her downfall. Just my opinion, better be full to expect the truth out of people. So first and foremost, her drug tests have actually came back clean. She is prescribed a prescription, and she is under her legal limit for her prescription. So there's no other drugs in her system whatsoever. There's no drugs involved. Where people think there's drugs involved, there's not. And I literally sat down and I spoke with this team of people that she has, which is 3 ladies that she has that is on her. And one of them is the lawyer, one of them is the PR, which is part of her legal team, and one of them is a 3rd-year law student who has been an apprentice for her lawyer Hollis, because the man who was originally on the case ended up recusing himself or whatever, quit, whatever you want to call it, because they brought Hollis on as co-counsel, and so he tried to screw Hollis over and left Hollis high and dry. But I mean, I'm not asking you to believe me. I was here. American Amy was here. You know, a lot of other people were here. And I mean, this is literally firsthand knowledge from myself. So if you don't like it, I mean, don't believe it. I'm not forcing you to believe it. I can't hold a gun to your head like Liberty Bird tried to do and, you know, make people believe stuff. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But I can speak what I know, and what I know is the truth because of me being there. Hunter was there yesterday, so we know what has been said. And it's just a lot of other different things, and you're trying to sidetrack me from speaking out. I can stay away from bad character. I have all my life. They will suck you down. Okay, well that's you, Navin. I mean, Amy, not Amy, but Megan's not a bad character. John and Ruve are the bad characters. I mean, when I have the people from CPS who work for CPS tell me what these children have said, and hear how there's been abuse to the children as well, I know what is bad character and what is not bad character. So, did she say two of her baby daddies were abusive or more? What? Who cares about drug if it's not affecting the children? Okay, so Navin, I can't answer that question because I cannot confirm nor deny that. So I'm not going to say yes or no because of the fact that I don't know the answer to that one. So I can't answer that. What I do know is what I learned in court. So what I am speaking on is factual stuff that was told to me from the people who were inside the courtroom today, from documentations, from all kinds of different people. Two of them, two ladies, and they tried to testify in court, but they told me they got her off every time, even though she had first. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. American Amy is the and the two ladies who testified. Every time they tried to speak about what the children, what they have witnessed, it was always objection, objection, objection on the state side. And the judge granted it every single time. He granted them the objection. And then they tell the people, they're like, well, you don't have a degree, blah, 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 and stuff like that. Okay, so these two workers that you have working for CPS, they might not have a degree, but you feel that they're capable of being able to monitor visitations for people, like Meghan Walsh, and document notes and everything, but you don't want them to testify and for their statements to be heard due to the fact that it doesn't make the state look good. So how is in any way, shape, or form or fashion right, but you have them working for you? And I mean, it doesn't make no sense to me. Another thing that was brought up today, like everybody said, did she complete, or her lawyer said, did she complete the case plan? No. But you got to understand, this is a lady who went from having everything done for her basically her whole life, to having everything ripped away from her because she started speaking out. She started asking questions. And is John Walsh pissed at her? They're like, yeah, he's very upset with her. But they were not asking for the children to be given back today. All they're asking is for more time to allow Meghan to rebuild her life. And the judge said that they had 30 days to, make a decision. And let's not forget, while Meghan was on the stand today, they were basically saying that she had what would you call it? Where hold on, I want to think of what they said because it was a lot to soak in, hearing everybody talk and stuff. Behavioral issues or whatever you want to call it, because she was pointing while on the stand and stuff, and they had an issue with her pointing. I mean, come on, people. It's a finger pointing. Like, I talk with my hands a lot. I move my hands whenever I'm talking a lot because I like to talk with my hands. Doesn't make me, mentally unstable or whatever. Doesn't make me, have anger issues or anything. That's just who I am. That's how I express myself. Most of his properties are not in his name. Even if she was a bad parent, why not try to help her if it was in his name, but part of it was her money, I do believe. I'm not positive though. Did she buy the house in her name? Okay, so Navin, the house was part of her inheritance, okay? No, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Her inheritance money was used to purchase the house, and it was a farm that she went to go start. And because her father took back her inheritance, and it was, what did they call it? A fast sale. And she was supposed to get half of the money, and it would have been $175,000. So that's what, 1, 2, 3. So it sold for $350,000, but because of the fact that it was a fast sell and everything, and it's in like the escrow thing, whatever the heck you call that, they are holding it based on the fact of her having to pay like the court costs and stuff like that, which doesn't make no sense to me, because family court should be free. That then it wasn't her house records. Don't lie to me. If it was her inheritance, then it was her house. Okay, Navin? So you can say what you want. Yes, American Amy. Susan, who was there with us today, had spoke on that. And so, I mean, Navin can say all the bull crap he wants to. He's a troll anyway. We know that. And he thinks he knows everything about anything. But hey, who am I, Just the person who was there all day from 8 a.m. until 7 o'clock p.m. And then, spent over an hour speaking with the lawyers and the rest of the legal team afterwards, And Hunter, who is he? The person who was there at 9 a.m. yesterday and didn't leave till after 6 p.m., who was there an hour past the court time, listening to what the lawyers and stuff had to say. So, but who are we to know anything, right? Come on now. It was brought up about Meghan apparently trying to hide the baby because she didn't tell John and Reve that she was pregnant, and they felt like she was hiding that information, even though she had a home birth, and they were trying to say again that she was hiding the information of her being pregnant, and had found out that her 2 boys were also home births as well. So it wasn't the first time she had had a home birth. She had had 2 prior home births to the newest baby being born, and that was trying to be used against her. Let's see. I haven't pulled the tax return and see if it was stressed or whatever. I would assume John's legal team set her up her inheritance and how it would be students. Good thinking, my love. But then it cannot be recent. I do not believe, but look into all of these. I'm not. I want to know the truth. I would like to know why Reve Walsh left Adam Walsh up in Sears for 91. This sounds on the public. Nav and Amy has a point. You're definitely the one to go digging. Let's see what you can find. You're better at it than. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to reach out as I go along. Susan has a nice website put together on the link. Okay, but so there was those. I'm trying to think of everything and anything. The lawyer for John, there was something that was said about him. I'm trying to think of what it was said. I think his name is Highland. I'm going to skip over that because I don't want to tell a lie about what was said about Highland. What more do you need to know? I wanted to ask before she was famous. I want to know who's done something illegal and corrupt. So I have to know who's harmed to some. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Adam was brought up, and they were told that that was not part of the case. It was irrelevant to the case, but even, you know, Meghan's past history of things that's happened as a child or whatever. That was stuff relevant to the case, according to them. He's the one that says, and Larry King, no, not me. He says he has sex addiction. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. You know, this is very, very corrupt, especially when you get the transcripts and you see that statements that even the judge has made has been redacted. And now back to what I was saying. Now that I think about it, while Meghan was on the stand, the state's attorney said, "Is this thing recording?" And they're like, "Yeah, you know, it's always recording." And she's like, "You know, I needed like a quick 2-minute recess," and then I guess they gave her like 2 minutes to do whatever it was she needed to do. The state's attorney had 2 children that were minor children at home, and since it's all told that I can say it, she had 2 minor children at home, and she literally sit there and ordered a pizza for her children while in the courtroom while they were supposed to be testifying Meghan. And let's keep in mind, you know, court has already closed past this time, and she looked at them and she told them, she's like, "Okay, well, you can turn it back on now." And they're like, "We never stopped recording." She said, "Well, typically, you know, for the state, they would stop recording and blah, blah, blah." So it literally shows that they're putting on record what they want on record. They're putting on record what they don't want on record. And, I mean, it's really been a whirlwind effect. There was one of the CPS workers who actually admitted that she had not fully done her whole thing, like her whole job from beginning to end. The one thing that she's supposed to do is it's a parental something, but basically it's like a evaluation to see if you're capable of being a parent, you know, a good parent or not. And the man testified, you know, that Meghan did come in, and he's like, you know, that she said something about the way he was acting towards her, but it showed that Meghan had actually tried to go in and do it, but she asked for a different person, and they haven't gave her a different person to get the parental thing done that she has tried to do, which that and then housing and a job are the 3 things that they want Meghan to work on. That's it, just those 3 things, and then the case plan would be complete. But Meghan had attempted to do it, and he even admitted it on the stand, you know, that she did come in and then she wanted to ask for someone else because of the way the guy was treating her. And at first he tried to make it out like she didn't do it at all, but then it was brought up that it did happen. I'm trying to think of everything because it was just a whirlwind effect of stuff that happened. And how are you supposed to receive services when the service exactly how are you supposed to receive services when the service provider refuses? It's called letourbabiesgo.com, all one sentence, letourbabiesgo.com. Yes. Even though they weren't supposed to be recording, someone from the state side was able to record. They didn't confiscate theirs information, but they did tell, you know, Meghan's people that if they were recording, that they would confiscate their information, like their computers or whatever, and they wouldn't get it back. And sorry. The main thing of all of this was shown, like, you know, how they redacted what the judge had said prior in one of the transcripts. They didn't want to let the 3rd-year law student, who is the assistant for Miss Hollis, into the courtroom, and tried to deny her. And she's like, "No, this is my assistant." But yet they had 2 people who was up in like the jury box who were like one credit away from becoming full lawyers, but allowed them to sit in on the case. So that shows, that they're allowing who they want to be into the courtroom if it benefits them. And I misspoke earlier where I said I thought Rive had been there, but apparently Rive was not there. It was just John Walsh that was there today. It's y'all just don't understand. Like, it's been very, very hard for Meghan. And people want to say that she screwed up. Maybe she wanted a normal life, What's wrong with wanting to leave money and fame and fortune behind? What's wrong with living a normal life? There's nothing wrong with that. And for you to sit here and you to badmouth someone who walks away from being controlled based on money and stuff like that, no. You don't want that type of life. And Meghan really didn't want that. Meghan wanted to live a normal life with her children. She didn't want to be surrounded by paparazzi. She even told me that she went to school for design and music and art and stuff because this is stuff that her parents wanted her to do. This isn't stuff that she wanted to do, but she did it because that's what she thought her parents wanted. She has also said, that it's been hard for her, yes, but she's found more happiness being away from all the control based on money than she did, like, growing up. And that's all she wants. She wants a normal life. And John wants to hurt her the way that he knows how, which is with her children. Paid for all that education. I don't know, Nevin. I mean, I haven't really had a chance to talk to her except for when we sat down and spoke with the lawyers and stuff. But the lawyers were talking to her. Everybody was talking to her. The lawyers even said today, after everything was said and done, her legal team said today, hey, work on a job. And they're like, try to make some calls. Try to see if you can get you a job. It's not like, even though court ended today and the judge still has 30 days to make a decision, that they're not focusing on what needs to be focused at hand, which is housing, a job, and, her finishing that parent thing that she needs to do. But they did say in court today that they were going to work on getting it done and work on, finding someone else who can do it for her. Exactly. I mean, she is a fashion designer, she actually has, credentials for other things, but they discredit it. It was some health credential. Trial where John Walsh was charged and tried for molestation. Please post the link. You say you don't. Okay, so Navin, what you need to do, there's not a trial on that, but you need to read the information where John Walsh admits that he was 22 years old and Rive Walsh was 16 years old when he started having relations with Rive, knowing that in the state of New York, the legal age to consent was not at 16 years old. And this is from his own book that he has published. So he let this be known on public records that he is actually a known pedophile because he was with his wife before she was of legal age to consent. It wasn't that they were married, American Amy. They got together. She had to be of legal age to get married, but they were together before she was of legal age to consent in New York. Now you changed the story. Who's changing the story? Like I said, I told American Amy what she posted was not correct about the wife. That Reve was 16 years old. John Walsh was 22 years old when John Walsh started having relations with her, knowing that it was not of legal age for her consent in the state of New York. And this is published in his book that he wrote. He admits to being a pedophile in his book. I mean, you said they met when she was 16. Yes, Navin, he really does. In his book, he really admits that he was with Reve. She was 16 years old. He was 22 years old. And it was not of legal age for her to be able to consent in the state of New York when they got together. You don't believe me? Go look up the information your damn self, Navin. I swear to you. It is on the internet. You can look it up. It is public. So, I mean, just saying, you don't want to do your own research? Don't. But it's out there. And I know plenty of people can research it. So, sorry. When you have a book that's published and you write it in your book, it's going to get brought out to the world. You don't want to carry. I just want to fuck with us. I bet there's some that do care. I've never read the book, but I did see him going away. American Amy? Something else I found out today that, the children he has with Reve isn't the only children that he has. As I said, Navin, he started having relations with her at 16. This is admitted in his book. This is stuff that I actually have looked up. And I do know that Ruby was cheating with her living boyfriend when Adam disappeared. Reve. Sorry. I'm rolling down the wrong window. But, I mean, as I've said, you know, there's 3 things that Meghan needs to complete. That's her parental thing that she's supposed parental compact or something. Some shit of that nature. The housing and a job. Hopefully she'll have something come through about a job. But the main thing is right now they're holding her $175,000 that is owed to her. That has been brought up. That is legally hers. They have not released it because they have it in some kind of escrow, which I know courts can do shit like that. But, how many other kids does he have? As far as I know, I've only heard of the one that he has. I don't know how many more others there are, but I do know that he has one other child. And the birth certificate has actually been brought up and sent to prove that this person is John Walsh's child, and a matter of fact, DNA has been established that John Walsh is the father of this child. But they don't know of the fact that, you know, they think he only has Meghan and the 2 other children. They don't know about the other children. Which Which I don't understand why they're making her pay for his court fees. I mean, seriously, I really don't. It doesn't make no sense to me how they can make her pay for his court fees. My parent, who was involved in our case, didn't have a court fee. You know, the other person involved in our case didn't have a court fee. We didn't have a court fee. The one that says she was here, you're telling mom. The one that says she was a sister. The woman. Yes, the sister, American Amy, the sister, that has came out to be factual that John Walsh does have another daughter besides Meghan Walsh. Yes. He always says her name. I think I'm missing I'm not 100% sure on that, American Amy. I'm not even going to lie to you, but so basically what I'm saying is the rundown is Meghan has 3 things to do. The parental compact, that's what it is. The parental compact, the housing, and the job. That's it. That's all Meghan needs to do to be able to get her children back. And I mean, you know, Navin wants to sit here and he wants to pick and argue and everything else and try to say that she's unfit mother, blah, blah, blah. They actually said in court today that they would want to give her back baby Esther. And they feel like baby Esther could come back, but not the older 3. So if you feel like the baby can come back, the one who can't speak, the one who can't talk at all, the one who can't walk, can't do nothing for herself, this is the one you want to come back, but you feel as if she's not capable of taking care of the older 3 children. Yes, I understand because of the statute, it has not been a year, so they cannot terminate her rights on baby Esther as of yet. But when you would openly admit that in court today, that you feel like she would be able to handle the baby, just not the older 3 children, and not solely based on the statute, but solely from your opinion, that blows my mind in many ways, many shapes, and many forms. That came from the CPS worker on the case, my love. So I will say that that's where that came from. This was openly admitted by the CPS worker, not the people who do the visitation and record everything and document what's being said, blah, blah, blah. This is the people, you know, that are on the case, that have to create a case plan, this, that, the fifth, the third. They were basically our worker. God, I can't even remember our worker's name now. But yeah, that's basically who they were. Yes, unsigned warrants are very, very common with CPS. Exactly. A 5-year-old they can flush the toilet, pick up a fork, the whole 9 yards. They can brush their teeth, you know, all that good stuff. But you're saying she's not capable of children, of handling children, who's more capable of doing things for themselves than a newborn child. I'm not going to say a newborn, but a couple months old. Like I said, I want to say she's about around 2 months old. I don't know how old the baby is. I'm just going to say that she's around 2 months old. Yeah, the not the case. I wouldn't say the case manager. Okay, so you have like the way it works. I don't know how it works here, but in North Carolina, you have your CPS worker, that is your intake worker, and then when your children are taken, it goes to a whole nother different side of CPS. And so that's like your main CPS worker that you have, and then you have like your CPS supervisor and stuff. Wow, just well, I get it. And hello, Richard Heaton. Thank you for coming in. It's just been very, very hard for Meghan, like I said, because they don't want to give her money for her housing that she's legally owed. They want to hold it into an escrow because she has to pay for all these court fees and everything else and stuff. So that's preventing her from being able to get her housing right now like she needs to help progress on this case. So it's making it very difficult for her, but they're not looking at it like that. And then she, of course, did have a house until, not a house, but she had a job until she had the baby. She can come and go back to work, even though I don't think she's actually able to, but she needs to, just because of what's going on with this whole situation in this whole case. And then the parental compact thing she needs to do, which has admitted that she has tried to do it. It didn't go through properly because of the conflict between her and the guy who was trying to, or assigned to do the parental compact. So now they're working on trying to find someone else who can do the parental compact for her so she can get that done. Hopefully they'll have that within like this coming up week, so that's marked off. And then after that, the only two things left on the list is housing and the job. Sorry, I had to think there for a moment, y'all, because I'm literally, it's 12:27 here, so I'm trying to think. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning, but I mean, like I said, people can say what they want. Meghan has worked really, really hard. She has checked off basically everything on her list, and they're not asking for the children to come back right away because they know that she needs a job and she does need stable housing. All they're asking for is just more time so she can finish her case plan successfully, so she can get back on her feet and get a stable home for her children and stuff. Everyone, I know I got mods in here, so for those of you, please, that can post her petition link, post the Give Send Go, so that way anyone who does want to help Meghan, because like I said, they are holding her money hostage in an escrow until everything's done. Again, that's another 30 days, before court is finally done. So she's got another 30 days that she would have to wait on any of her money to come back to her. So anyone that is willing to help, to donate even $1, $5, whatever it takes to help her to where she can try to get stable housing and complete this successfully and get her children back home, please do so. And anyone in the Florida area, as they said, that knows, I'm gonna say like in between like Indian River, Palm Bay area, whatever, and I don't know how far out everything goes, but between those areas, anyone that knows of a place that Meghan can get a job, please, you reach out, let us know. Yesterday's hearing was set up on the day he was found. That's kind of weird. Maybe that's why he wasn't there yesterday. Maybe that's why he didn't come till today. And I mean, also, people want to sit here and talk about, okay, so they originally lived in Hollywood, Florida, right? When all of this happened to Adam Walsh. And this was something that I brought up to the CPS worker that, does the visits with the children and stuff. So, and I think American Amy had mentioned this. They originally lived in Hollywood, Florida when Adam went missing. And after Adam's body, not body, but the head, as we're going to call it, that they never identified, was found, they moved to the area that Adam's head was found at. But keep in mind, people, this is the head of Adam Walsh that was found, right? But they never went and identified their own child's head. They just said, we just know it's Adam. We're gonna, that's it. And this is, the neighbor went to identify it. And they said, there was discrepancy teeth-wise about the teeth missing and Adam having missing teeth, that it wasn't Adam. But John and Reve just swore up and down that they just knew it was Adam's head. So they believed it, nobody done any type of investigation to make sure 100% that it was Adam's head. Did the head get buried? Did the head get cremated? Where did that head go? Where did the head that was found, that was supposed to be Adam Walsh's, vanish to? Has anyone ever thought about that? As you would hope. Those nights are sure you would really pray before you walk into. Exactly, my love. Like, we are parents, right? If I know between me and you that if something like that was to ever happen and our child come up missing and then there was a head found and, the neighbor was saying it's not Adam because of the teeth discrepancy or something, if someone was to say that's not our child because of the teeth discrepancy, I know it would be hard and we would want to prepare ourselves, but we would still want to walk and look and be like, oh, thank God, that it's not our child, he's still alive, or, he can still be found or something, or she can still be found, whatever. And he's Adam. I want immediately do it. And ain't that shit off the table. And then put him what to do. Good night, American Amy. But like I said, what kind of parent couldn't, walk over there and check just to make sure that it's not your child, or that if it is your child, but you go with it, and everybody else goes with it. 40 something years, everybody goes along with the fact that this is your child. Or was it 80 something, 90, 2000? Yeah, about 40 something years. American Amy, that's something else that I gotta talk to you about, okay? There's more story behind that goes private, because that was something that wasn't spoken of by the lawyers. That was something that was spoken of by Meghan herself, okay? So I will get with you on that on a whole nother subject, on a whole nother date. Like I said, people, you gotta remember, this is a girl who couldn't do anything growing up. Her parents wouldn't let her. She couldn't fill out paperwork. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. I think she was homeschooled. They had a nanny, the whole 9 yards. All of that. This is a girl who was born into fame because of the fact that her brother ended up missing because of his mother. Now, because of his mother, who left him alone at 6 years old inside of a mall for her to go do shopping. Right? Her nor, from what I've heard, John was at work. So I'm not going to hold John accountable for it. I'm not going to say it's John's thought. Like I am going to say it's Reve's. From this home and all the scares, it seems like it's from the start to me. Like I said, I'm not going to speak on everything that I know, that Megan's told me, because this whole Adam situation is a whole nother subject from, what's at hand. And I don't want to do nothing to jeopardize what's going on with her, because, they did, by the grace of God, say, that they've got 30 days to decide. Maybe it'll take the whole 30 days. That's what we're hoping for. But, just in general, y'all stop and think. This woman left her 6-year-old son, 6, not 16, not 18, a 6-year-old child alone inside a mall. Those of you who are parents, I highly doubt you would leave your 6-year-old child alone inside of a mall. And people can say, it was back in the old days, blah, 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 this and that, and the fifth of the... It does not matter. There were monsters back in 1980, okay? There was monsters in the 80s. There was monsters in the 90s. There was monsters in the 70s. There was monsters in the 1920s. There's always been monsters. There has been people who prey on little children as far back as I can recall. What makes you think that because it's 1980 that it is okay to leave your 6-year-old child alone in a mall while you go shopping? It's not okay. It's not. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're Hispanic. I don't care if you're albino. Hell, I don't care if you're freaking purple. You do not leave your child unattended in a mall. Everything that happened to Adam Walsh happened because of Reeve Walsh. Might I add, Drew Reeve Walsh. Exactly, Richard. There were always monsters. Nobody was ever safe, no matter what era there was. I love how I've been through all of John and Reve's worst attributes. Like I said, I can't, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink it. I really can't. I'm not here to make the trolls believe everything. I'm here because I know what I believe. I know what I've witnessed. I know what I've heard. You know what you've heard. We've seen it. We have firsthand knowledge of what is going on. And so we have a right to speak out about it. They want to speak out about what they know firsthand on YouTube. So be it. That's YouTube, okay? That's y'all's little drama mess that y'all got going on. This, on the other hand, is real life. This is real life situation. This is a mother who is crying out to let the world know just what is going on. This is a mother who loves her children and is fighting for her children. To me, that is more important than anything Navin and his troll buddies have to say. Whether it be, let's see, there's Navin, the Church of Four, or whoever. I don't care. At this point in time, I could care less about what the hell they think. Because I know what I know, and I'm speaking out. Because I care. They don't have to listen to it. I didn't ask them to come here to watch it. They chose to come to watch it. More power to them. I am giving firsthand knowledge of just what Meghan Walsh is going through. As y'all seen today, I was at the Indian River County Courthouse. Y'all seen Meghan Walsh on camera as she walked out. It was a little after 7 o'clock. But Meghan Walsh, who you can Google and see, it's really pictures of Meghan Walsh, was at that courthouse today. I am literally with the daughter of John Walsh. You can see pictures of John and Meghan together to know that this is really his daughter. This is like important. This isn't stupid stuff that's happening on the YouTube community. I don't care about that. I really don't. What I care about is the fact that there is a mother who has been suffering since April 15th of 2020. What year? We're in 2022. So since April 15th, 2021, this is a mother who has been suffering for, what are we in, August? So almost a year and 4 months. This mother has been suffering. She has been separated from her children. You know, I mean, I've seen her. I've hung out with her. You know, I've got to talk to her. All of that. Like, it's real. It's not stupid. It's not, you know, fake. It's not my narrative. It's what I am hearing from her, what I am hearing from her lawyers, what I'm hearing from people who has testified on the stand. You know, it's all of that. Her lawyer, last court date, filed for a change of venue, filed for the judge to recuse themselves, filed for a continuance. Everything she filed, every motion that she could file, everything was denied. The motion was denied by the judge last court date. But this is the same judge who the court date prior, or whatever, not the court date prior, but yeah, it was last court date. I had to think. But, because she did say last court date was the day that she came on. You know, this is the lawyer who came on as co-counsel. And because she wanted to be co-counsel, Meghan's other lawyer decided to quit. The one that's been there the whole time. Because Meghan wanted extra help on her behalf. So this lawyer files these motions to try to help out because she's just now getting the case. The lawyer strikes everything but allowing a continuance subpoena of the witnesses that were there today. But these two witnesses that were there today, that's been there, you know, to see all the visits and stuff, every time anything they said was talked about, objection, objection, objection. Everything was sustained. Like, they allowed the objection. The lawyer was able to get everything that they objected to sustained. So they said, yeah, you know, we'll strike it. I mean, it was just a mess and a half. And then when Meghan's on the stand testifying, here it is, you have the state's attorney ordering pizza for her 2 minor children who's left alone at the house because she decides to drag this out until, you know, 7 o'clock in the evening. These minor children being left alone because she wants to make Meghan look like this god-awful parent who's not, by the way. She's really not. She's trying, y'all. And that's what people got to understand. Meghan is actually trying. It's not that she doesn't care about her children. She's completed all but 3 things. I mean, which is housing, a job. Because, I mean, she did just have a baby. She was working before she had the baby. So, housing, a job, and the parental compact. But she's at least tried to do the parental compact. And she did have a job prior. So, that would have left one thing, which was the housing. But again, they have her $175,000 that is legally hers tied up in escrow to go to the courts to help pay for John Walsh's whatever. I mean, it doesn't make no sense. So anyone and everyone who can help her, even if it's $1, $2, whatever, $5, it does not matter. If you can help Meghan to where she can get housing, do so. I mean, she still has legal fees that she's got to pay to her attorney. So, I mean, that's got to be paid. But she also needs to get housing for her children. And remember, the judge said she has 30 days. 30 days. They're going to make a deciding factor within 30 days. I think it has been continued until like 30 days from now. Exactly, on that date. So, anyone and everyone that can help in any way, shape, or form, share out the Give, Send, Go. By the way, I did find out for people, I think it's like 50. All you need is like 50 subscribers now to go live on YouTube. So any of y'all that have, 50 people that can go live, help spread this, do so. Those of you that have a community tab, post, her Give, Send, Go into the community tab. I'm trying to think, what else? What StreamYards? If you have access to StreamYards and you can do a stream, even if it's just for a moment, any live stream, whatever that you can post to, please do so. Let's help this woman, at least with housing. I know she can get a job. I know she's going to complete the parental compact thing that she's got to do. That only leaves housing. I mean, you got to stop and think. She needs a house. She needs to buy clothes for her children when they are returned. She needs to buy beds for her children and stuff like that. I mean, she really is trying, y'all. And there's so much going on that a lot of people don't realize. But we do. Because we've been here, we've witnessed it ourselves. And I mean, I don't know what else to say besides the fact, they're tampering with the transcripts. They're redacting things within the court that's being said based on the transcripts. They wouldn't allow the two people who have been there to testify because they don't have a degree. They don't have a degree to be able to testify, but they've been able to testify in other cases, right? And they've accepted their testimony in other cases, but they will not take the testimony in this case. And as the one girl said, it's because of who the heck Meghan's daddy is. That's the only reason why. That's because of who her father and her mother are. She didn't ask for John and Reve to be her parents. It just happened. I mean, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. But, again, like I said, they don't have to have a degree to be able to testify in other CPS cases. Just this one. You need a degree for your testimony to be credible for the John Walsh, Meghan Walsh case, whatever you want to call it, But, we'll let you testify every other court proceeding because those don't matter. Just this one. Because John Walsh is John Walsh. No, that's not how it works. But everyone, I'm not going to lie. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I am very, very tired. It's been a very long, trying, hard, eventful day. I wanted to come on and let others know exactly everything that has happened. With what I was told I could tell. I'm pretty sure I might have left out a few things. So there might be another update tomorrow based on what I can remember. But keep in mind, it's literally, I've been up for way, 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 way longer. I spent dang near 12 hours at that courthouse. I know I spent 11 hours at the courthouse and then 30 minutes of travel time each way. So that's 12 hours. And then I know I spent at least like an hour to an hour and a half with the lawyer team talking with them. So that's like 13 and a half hours. Yeah, I'm exhausted. So I'm going to bed. If I go live tomorrow, it's because I thought of other things that I left out tonight. So if I do go live, just be on the lookout so I can let everyone know something I may have missed that was very relevant to what happened in court. But as of right now, she has a 30-day grace period. Things can happen in 30 days. A lot of things can happen in 30 days. So, again, for anyone that can help Meghan in any way, shape, or form, monetarily, to help with the few legal things, of legal aspects of the filing fees and stuff that they have. I do know that there is a $1,500 filing fee that has been involved, and that needs to be returned to Meghan's lawyer. And then Meghan needs housing because, again, the courts are holding her $175,000 that is rightfully hers. They're holding it hostage until all of this is done, which we know isn't for another 30 days. So it's going to be at least another 30 days before she gets her money. And again, they're going to hold that against her on the fact that she doesn't have housing in 30 days because they don't want to give her money. And she's working on a job. But we know how much jobs are. Some pay weekly, some pay bi-weekly. They might hold back a week, and that gives her 3 weeks to get everything situated. You can't pull money out your ass like that in 3 weeks. I'm sorry. So, excuse my language. He could rule sooner. So, yes, DSS, you're right. I mean, we need to help her, y'all. So, anyone and everyone, please, $1 here, $1 there, whatever, $5, all of it matters. But I'm going to bed. I will talk to you all later. So I hope you